The MacBook Air is Apple's best-selling laptop and one of the most popular laptops on the market, period. But between all the docks, chargers, peripherals, stands, and cases you can buy, it's hard to know which one is worth getting. I've rounded up the best MacBook Air accessories, including some that are specifically designed for the newer MacBook Air M3s. And if you want to check any of these out, they're all linked in the description, so let's get into it. Just like with my phones, I'm that person who won't get caught using their MacBook without a case. I've gone through my fair share in the past few years, but the Spigen Urban Fit is hands down the best that I've tried. As soon as you pop one of these on, your laptop instantly feels way tougher. Except for the keyboard deck and the precision cutouts for your port, you've basically got 360 degrees of protection on your laptop without adding that much extra bulk or weight to your setup. And so whether you're tossing your MacBook in your bag or just lugging it around the house, the Urban Fit's got you covered against those inevitable scratches and bumps. But for when you're not throwing your MacBook in a larger book bag, here's some of the best soft cases worth checking out. First up, there's the Belkin sleeve, which is deceivingly rugged. It has a bit of an exoskeleton that gives it more rigidity while still being slim. It has a built-in retractable handle on its side and a front pocket to carry some of the most important accessories, whether you're using chargers, cables, mice, or even some keyboards. One thing to keep in mind though is the pocket isn't the full length of the case, so even with smaller keyboards like this Pebble Key 2, it'll fit right in, but you won't actually be able to zip the pocket closed. And so I usually end up putting the keyboard in the main pocket as the MacBook. Because of that, I think the Spigen Class N is a bit of a step up, offering more scratch resistance and water resistance. And speaking of water, it's actually made of 100% recycled nylon from fish nets and other ocean waste, and that's pretty cool. It also uses a larger opening on its side, which makes it easier to slide your laptop in or out. Its accessories pocket also manages to fit more inside because it's deeper, and it also has some added protection from the elements because of the lip covering the zipper. And so even though this is a little bit larger as one carrying bag that can hold your MacBook and all of its accessories, this is a pretty great choice. That said, the muff sleeve might be one of my favorites. This thing is basically like an origami-like transformer. It's a sleeve, but in seconds, it can actually turn into a stand with two height adjustments, either 15 or 25 degrees, giving you better viewing and typing angles. Inside it has this one little slot that's probably good for maybe a few business cards, but aside from that, it has this little divider on this side your laptop slides in, and then on this side, this is where you actually throw in all your accessories. And you might be thinking, well, this thing is really small. So to make up for that, it has this really stretchy material on the front here. And even though this doesn't have the space to fit in smaller keyboards like the Pebble, it does have enough flexibility to fit in some larger accessories, including chargers and mice. But given how slim and multifunctional this is, it's super impressive. I just wish it had a handle kind of like the Spigen case to make it a little bit more easy to carry around. Next, we have the Logitech Casa pop-up desk. You know, in many ways, it's like the moth sleeve that we just saw, only it's much thicker. It isn't a case at all, and instead it just houses a mini keyboard and trackpad, as well as a little compartment here for your extra wires and doodads. This looks a lot like a school binder, and it actually feels about as heavy. The included keyboard is pretty solid with nice squared off keys that are decent to type on, and the trackpad here is also really great and could be a nice substitute for the Magic Trackpad. That said though, this entire setup is not cheap. But if you frequently find yourself needing a trackpad, a keyboard, and some kind of stand, this is a pretty cool setup that allows you to get set up pretty quickly. But if you don't really want the stand and instead you're interested in a similarly small size keyboard and maybe a more traditional mouse, then you should check out the Pebble Keys 2 and Mouse 2. The Keys 2 is just a little bit taller, but it's still very portable. It still also offers the same quick switching between 3 different devices with the hotkeys at the top, and the same applies for the mouse with its button at the bottom. So if you have your MacBook, an iPad, and maybe a third computer, you can quickly switch between the 3 devices with just a click. One major difference though is that this is not rechargeable, instead it uses 2 AAA batteries. Both the Casa keys and the Pebble Keys 2 aren't the most ergonomic to type on for longer periods of time, especially because they don't have raised feet. But if you're looking for something that's slim, lightweight, and cheap that you can just throw into your bag and always carry around with you, this is hard to beat. First step up, you can go for the MX Mini Keys. This is hands down my favorite multi-device keyboard. I've had this for about 2 years now and typing on it is great. And for me, this is the perfect size. It's about as big as the keyboard Pebble, but with the added benefit of a more ergonomic typing angle because of its built-in feet. Overall, this feels more premium, not only with its build, but with the typing experience, the fact that it's USB-C, and it does have backlight brightness. But then Logitech said, what if we take that same great design that everyone loves and made it mechanical? Well, that's what we have here with the Logitech Mini MX Mechanical. It uses low profile, quiet mechanical keys. Typing is satisfying, and overall, it's even a little bit more ergonomic than the MX Mini. This still manages to be really easy to take on the go, but for a lot of people, this is probably seen as a much superior desktop keyboard replacement. And with its really nice tactile keys, I also think this is really great for gaming. And then speaking of desktop setups, the best way to round it off is probably with one of these. This is the MX Master 3S. It might not be the best for taking on the go, but it's overall one of my favorite mice for productivity. It's been my daily mouse for a few years now, and ergonomically, it's one of the best. Now, even though it's kind of normal for laptops like the MacBook Air to only have a few ports, it doesn't mean you're stuck with that. One of the easiest fixes is with the Anker 7-in-2 USB-C adapter, which takes your 2 USB-C ports on the side and expands it into everything you'd probably need, including one full-size USB Type-A, a full-size HDMI, an SD and micro SD card reader. The downside though is it's not compatible with most cases, so you will have to remove that if you're someone like me who likes to have them on, but you also do lose access to your MagSafe connection for charging the laptop, meaning when this is attached, you're gonna have to rely on one of these for power delivery. On the positive side, when it is attached, this does feel like an extension of your laptop and can almost keep this on all the time if you wanna have quick access to those ports. But let's say you're someone like me who wants to rock the case, but still have access to all those additional ports. For that, you can get a small external hub like the Spigen Arc Dock that offers full-size HDMI, micro SD card, 2 full-size USB ports, 2 USB Type-C ports, one for power delivery, and on its side you even have a gigabit Ethernet port and a 3.5mm audio jack. The Belkin 5-in-1 USB-C hub is another sleek solution, but it offers 4 Thunderbolt USB-C ports, as well as 1 USB Type-A on the back. And so if you quickly want to connect to a lot of high-speed devices, whether those are hard drives or external monitors, this is one of the smallest and most convenient choices. This can drive a single 5K 60Hz monitor or dual 4K 60Hz monitors. For the past few months though, I've actually been using the pluggable Thunderbolt 4 UDX1, and is actually what's been driving that big 49-inch ultra-wide monitor in the background there. Even though this only has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, it makes up for it with 4 USB Type-A ports, which are great for older accessories. You also have Ethernet 2.5, a full-size HDMI 2.0 port, and an SD card reader on the front. And so for one desktop dock that can connect to all my devices, older ones, internet, and a monitor really easily, this is my top pick. And then speaking of desktop setups, here are a few ways that you can make your desk a little bit tidier with some laptop stands. The 12 South Book Arc Flex looks very minimalist and it doesn't take up much space on your desk. Your MacBook slips in and is snug with these rubberized feet on the side. And because of that really nice premium chrome finish, which can be a bit of a fingerprint magnet, I do think it fits into a lot of setups really nicely. The Curve Flex is more like the Casa pop-up desk. This offers more adjustments for heights and angle. And so if your goal is to get the best ergonomic viewing and typing experience using the built-in keyboard and trackpad, this helps a lot. And it even comes with its own little cute carrying bag if you want to take this on the go. For me though, I find that the pluggable PT Stand 1 is an unsung hero. This $25 pick is really intended for tablets, but it has the strength and flexibility to hold smaller laptops like the MacBook Air, even when they're opened. But unlike the Flex, I wouldn't necessarily use this to type on. Instead though, this is really great when you want to pair it with those external peripherals, but still use the built-in screen. But if you're someone who also wants to maximize their desktop experience and connect to a bunch of things using a dock like this, maybe connecting to an external monitor, you can put your laptop into clamshell mode, put in a dock like this, and you can see it takes up so little space and you have the ability to rotate it around nicely. I think this is super cool. Of course, at the same time, you can then switch your laptop out, put a tablet on here, and this is a really cool multi-purpose stand. With each new processor, it's impressive how much more battery life we can get out of these laptops. But when battery life is low, here's some of the best chargers that you can go with. Starting off with the smallest, this is the Belkin Boost Charge 67 watt. It's nearly as powerful as the 70 watt option sold by Apple, but it manages to fit 2 additional USB-C ports while being much smaller and lighter. You can easily keep your MacBook powered and simultaneously charge a smaller second device like your phone. The Anker Prime 100 watt is almost as small as the Belkin 67 watt, but it increases its output substantially. It replaces one of its USB-C ports for a USB Type A, which can be great to have when you're in a pinch. But let's say you've got two MacBooks or a MacBook and another power-hungry device. In that case, you can go for the Spigen 140 watt charger. Now, the really cool thing about this, even though it's probably overkill for most MacBook Air users, is the fact that it's actually smaller than Apple's own 96 watt charger. Look at that, 96 watts, 140 watts. But this manages to be a lot smaller and just about as heavy. Lastly, if you don't mind a bit of bulk, the Anker Prime 200 watt with its 100 watt charging base is the ultimate all-in-one charger for home and taking on the go. If you're like me and you like working remotely and you don't want to have to worry about having access to an outlet, this has plenty of juice to keep your MacBook and other devices powered all day long. You can also pair it with this optional charging base, which either can quickly recharge the power bank wirelessly or power up to 3 devices. And even when I'm not working on the go, when I'm traveling for big trips, this is usually the combo that I take with me. Now, even though MacBooks have really great built-in webcams, if you want to take it up a notch, maybe make things look a little bit more professional, you can actually pair it with your iPhone's cameras using the continuity feature in macOS. And so this Belkin mount is super simple. It has this built-in lip on the back, and then you connect it to your phone. And now we attach it to the top of our screen, like that, which yes, will make your screen a little bit heavier, so you don't want to lean it back too far. But in just a few seconds, we've quickly upgraded our webcam. The other cool thing about this is that this also doubles as kind of like a pop socket / stand for your phone. You can just quickly or easily hold your phone like that, got a nice grip on it, and then when you want, you can also put it on a table and get different viewing angles. So that's pretty cool. But let's say you're either working with an external monitor or you don't want to tie up your phone for a webcam. Well, the Logitech MX Brio is one of the best webcams that you can get today. It supports 4K 30 or 1080p 60. It's a great choice for web meetings, streaming, or if you tilt it down a bit, you can actually show off what you're doing on your desk. It is on the pricier side, but its low light quality and its built-in mics make this a solid choice if you want a single fast plug and play upgrade. And the other really cool thing, by turning it, you have a built-in shutter for added security. So those are some of the best MacBook accessories you can get today. You can learn more about them and find the best deals for everything linked below. If there are any other accessories you think I missed or I should include in a follow-up video, let me know in the comments. And for more cool tech, follow us everywhere at Tom's Guide and follow me for a behind the scenes look into everything I'm testing and reviewing next. Until the next one, I'll catch you later.